let's get to part 2 of our Christmas garland. I have my one that I made before out here, and a garland is basically like a chain, basically, that we can put together and hang up. And we're gonna use shapes to do it with our paper that we made last week. So I hope you guys don't mind, but I put on some Christmas music just because I love to put on music when I do art. And I'm gonna get out my papers that I made last week and let's get to it. So the first thing you need to do, my friends, is search your house for some things that you can use to trace for your shapes. So you're probably going to want them to be a little bit more on the small side, since our papers, we want to make a bunch of shapes. So to give you guys some ideas, I found this box, a lot of things you could find in the kitchen actually. I'm gonna use this to draw around for a rectangle. The bottom of this spice container I'm gonna use as a square. I could even use this small circle. I have a candle that I can use for bigger circles. And triangles are a little bit harder to find, so I'm probably just going to freehand draw my triangles. So basically the idea here, friends, is take your painted paper once you find the shapes around the house that you want to use. Flip the paper over because we don't want to draw on the lovely painted or colored side, so we're going to turn it over and take a pencil, take your object for the shape, and take your pencil and trace or go draw around the object to get the shape. Lift it up, and there you go. I have a rectangle, and I'm going to repeat this with different shapes until I have enough to make a garland. So depending on how long you want your garland to be, you're gonna need a bit more shapes. And so I'm gonna keep going here, and notice how I'm kind of putting my objects close together so I can get as much out of my paper as I can, and I'm not going to waste any of my paper. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going, friends, in a fast-forwarded, sped-up version, and then we'll get to the next part. So friends, as you can see, I have filled up my entire back of my paper with some shapes that I traced around. I really used up all the space, and I even freehand drew some triangles because I want some triangles on my garland. So now comes the part where I am going to cut these all out as carefully as I can, so go slow. And then we'll be ready to put it all together. Okay, friends, so now, as you can see, all of my awesome Christmassy shapes are cut out, and let's put this garland together. So you're gonna need either some string, and I have some string that I had around, or if you don't have string around, you might in your bathroom have some floss. That could work as well. So something that's going to hold this garland together. And I'm gonna pick the first shape that I want. So I went with the circle, and I'm gonna get some tape here. And I don't need a ton of it. I'm gonna tear off just a little piece of tape, and at the end of my string, I notice, friends, I'm taping to the back of this beautiful paper that I have here. I don't want the tape on the painted or colored side. So I'm gonna put the end of my string there and I'm gonna tape it in place, okay? And then I'm going to keep going, placing my different shapes down the string, just like I did, until I have all of my shapes taped on. All right, so I'm gonna keep going here and then I'll show you it when it's done. All right, friends, I just reached the end of my garland with my last shape. So now I'm going to cut off, I might leave a little extra string for hanging it up. And there we go. I can flip it over and now I can see all of that awesome red and green. And I am ready to find a spot for it to go hang up. So I'm gonna go find one and then I'll show you guys what it looks like hanging up. Okay, artists, well, I decided to hang one of my garlands on my bedroom door. And then I also used my snowflake paper to draw some hearts and turn that into a garland and hang it on my window. So I hope you guys really have some awesome fun with your garland. I can't wait to see where you hang them and have a great time.